Today I'm going to actually talk about protein and why they're important in their everyday function. Um, the word protein actually does come from the Greeks, and protein makes up about 15% of the average man or male. Um, Protein are one of the most diverse molecules in the body or of life. When protein is broken down, it is put into muscle mass, and every cell in a human body has protein in it. And there are many important features inside protein, like amino acids. Amino acid is a small organic compound that is a subunit of protein that is made up of the carbolic group. And there is protein, and then there is the amino acid, and then protein. There's also a short chain of amino acids linked by peptide bonds, which are peptides. So here are peptides. You have the amino acids right there, the amino acids like right here, and then the peptide bond, and then protein. So many protein also have quaternary structures, which means there are two or more peptides. So there are two or more of these. So I'll show you that. This would be a quaternary structure. It is two or more. There are three main functions of a protein. First is enabling the biochemical reaction that helps us digest our food, which is obviously very important. Two is to help provide the structural building block for our muscle, skin, and other tissues. Again, also important. And it is important that our body can properly respond to stimuli, which stimuli, if you didn't know, is a specific function that reacts in an organ or tissue. Without protein in our body, we would experience muscle loss, fatigue, low sex drive, and depression. Now, if you do get too much protein, however, you could experience weight gain, high cancer risk, thirst and dehydration, and kidney problems, such as osteoporosis. So it is important that we get a safe amount of protein in our body, which would be around 8 grams. Some different ways protein can be used in our bodies are for hormones like insulin and progesterone. Movement is another important reason, and one I didn't know about until I really did this project. I didn't think movement was that important protein. And then this is movement is another important reason, and one I didn't know yet. Myoglobin, which that is this obviously. There are 3 stages to protein. The first one is high protein, which is your fish, your meat, your eggs, stuff like that, stuff that really everybody knows is protein. The second level is going to be your foods such as rice, which this is your high level. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So you got your fish, your meat, your sausage, your eggs, your cheese, stuff that everybody knows has obviously a lot of protein. The medium level, this is going to be like your rice, beans, stuff that's really not that common. The last level, which is low protein, is your fruits and veggies. You got your bananas, you got your watermelon, your oranges, your grapes, all that kind of stuff. It is important to make sure that you get a balanced meal, because if you eat too much, let's say fish, meat, stuff like that, like in the high category, you can get too much protein and could lead to those symptoms that I just talked about. You got make sure that you're not eating too many. So now I'm going to talk about mad cow disease, and people can die from protein, which is called mad cow disease, obviously. There are infection diseases in humans. It is caused by eating beef products, which is obviously protein, contaminated with central nervous system tissues. As of 2018, there are a total number of 231 cases of this disease. Mad cow disease can be fatal, which can end up destroying your brain and the spinal cord, which is seen right here. And this is obviously someone eating something that would come out of a cow, and then right here would actually be an example of a mad cow disease. Another important part of to protein is the protein biosynthesis, which is what basically does it makes cells and makes new protein with both DNA and RNA, and is involved and are involved in this is occurs however in the cytoplasm and occurs in multiple ribosomes. So we have a picture. No, this is okay. So there are also prions, which prions are infectious proteins in mammals. It contains no nucleic acid genome. There are about 8 functions of these proteins. The first one is movement, and this is cells and the muscle movement. Storage is another source of amino acids for growing organisms. Defense is antibiotics that fight infection. So, transport allows passage across the membrane or to other body sites. So, signal transport signal between cells, and receptors receive chemical messages. Enzymes is the chemical catalyst. Amino acids are the building blocks of life. When protein are broken down, amino acids are left. So amino acids are very important. And there are about 20 different amino acids, which is you can see right here. You have the essentials, the conditionally essentials, and the non-essentials. So proteins typically have about 50 to 2,000 of these amino acids in them. So they're obviously a huge part of protein. Amino acids help our body by breaking down food, growing, and then helping repair our tissues, like I talked about previously. And they perform many of our body functions. There are 3 different groups of these, which I just stated. You have essential, conditionally essential, and non-essential. So this would be your essentials right here, and then conditionally essential, and then non-essential. Each protein also has its own amino acid sequence, like a necklace, kind of. You know, you'd wear a necklace. Let me show you one of those real quick. So this would be your amino acid chain. You have your protein molecules down here, and your amino acid chain, just like you would obviously wear a necklace. Some of the key things that I learned and what I should take away from this is that protein is a key to living. A healthy, stress-free life, and second, that amino acids are key to making protein a successful part of your life, or of your body, excuse me. And lastly, that prisons are various that could lead to sickness and possibly death, just like mad cow disease. So be careful with what you might eat, with what meat you might eat from the grocery store, because it could possibly save your life. So remember to always live a healthy life.